guys, this is Achinte Gomat. This is the second episode of our series Campus to Company. In this video, we'll be talking to Pranat Sharma and discussing his journey of getting selected from a tier 3 college to SD intern in Amazon. Before we begin this video, let me tell you about a very good coding contest, CodeKaze by Coding Ninjas, in which you can participate and be eligible for internship in 100 plus hiring partners like CoinDCX, Wingify, Tokopedia, MediBuddy, CoverFox, eStep, and many other companies which are hiring for jobs as well as internship, which is open for all years students, not restricted to any third year, final year. This contest is going to be conducted on 6th of March. Apart from this, there are prizes worth 30 lakh cash prizes in different categories, as you can check. Link is there in the description. Go right now and register for this coding contest by Coding Ninjas. Welcome Pranat to our channel. Thanks for taking out time and sharing your experience with us.
Thank you, sir, for inviting me. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to share my journey with you all.
Great. Let me introduce Pranat very quickly. Pranat is a 2022 batch CSC student of AKGEC Ghaziabad. He is a 4-star coder at CodeChef and a specialist at Code Forces. He has worked as a coordinator and developer at Software Incubator, which is a software development center in AKGEC. He has also worked as a backend developer intern at Emulate. Okay, we are going to divide this discussion into 3 parts. First part, like what all Pranat did in his college life, like coding, DSA, development, and second, how his interview went with Amazon, every rounds in detail, and third, we are going to discuss normal things like how to prepare and non-serious stuff. As you told me, Pranat, you got selected to Amazon via an on-campus round. So would you like to tell me what are the key factors you think which will help any student to get selected to the interview round of Amazon?
So it was an on-campus drive, and I think everyone who was having a percentage above 65%, they got the assessment link. So in order to get shortlisted for the interviews, I think you should be really good at DSA. Amazon focuses a lot on the DSA part. So yeah, I think that's the key factor.
Okay, so 2 things that Pranat has mentioned. First is the percentage. Even if you are applying for off-campus, your percentage will matter. Second is your DSA. So Pranat, I would like to ask, like, how will a company judge your DSA by just looking at your resume? Like, what credentials they will look at?
I think if you want to showcase your skills in DSA, you need to take part in contests on platforms like CodeChef, Code Forces, and I think getting a good rating there and getting a good rank, it basically showcases your DSA skills. If you are having a good rating, if you are having good a performance graph, I think it showcases like you are good at DSA.
Okay, so
also like the number of problems. Also, I think the number of problems you solve there, on platforms like LeetCode and on these competitive coding platforms, they also showcases like you are good at DSA.
Okay, so in short, what he is trying to say, your credentials on platform like LeetCode, CodeChef, and CodeForce. Just for rough estimates, Pranat, how many coding problems have you solved in your preparation? Just rough estimate, like.
Okay, so basically I have solved over 2000 problems.
Really?
Yeah, but I think the thing is, I have solved majorly the easy problems a lot.
Okay.
I have an obsession with easy problems.
Okay.
So I think that was a mistake basically. I don't think there is any need to solve so many problems. Like if you are able to solve good quality problems of medium hard level, and if even around 500 problems, I think that's enough.
Yeah,
I have I think like there is some lack of strategy in my preparation, because I've wasted a lot of time, I think, while solving easy problems. However, like if you solve easy problems, your speed improves a lot, your implementation gets better, but I think it's still not worthy enough to give so much time to the easy problems. You should rather solve good quality problems,
medium,
and I think 500 problems is a good amount, is a good number.
Also, students, number of problem is not a bar. I was just having fun, like asking a easy question to him, like casual question to him. The main focus is your problem solving skills. Number of problem is important because if you want to cover the length and breadth of the syllabus, right, that's why you have to solve like at least 300-400 problems will take to cover all the topics of like DP, graphs, greedy algorithms, and all those kind of topics. So my next question to you, Pranat, is like how much time did it take you to cover all these topics to achieve this level of proficiency? And apart from this, how much hours per day did you dedicate to coding?
Okay, so I think like I started preparing, sincerely, during the lockdown. So I used to devote as such कोई number fix नहीं था कि मतलब मुझे इतने घंटे आज काम करना है. But yeah, still I used to give at least 6 hours, daily. And the one thing which I kept in my mind was like I used to give every contest,
Okay.
every contest on Code Chef and Code Forces. So that one thing was main thing. Also, like I used to absorb the contest, like the questions which I was not able to solve in the real time contest. I used to I make sure that I solve at least two questions after the contest ends.
Okay, so how many months did it took you? Like 10 months, 1 year, something like that?
So basically, like when I started, competitive coding, it was in the summer break after first year. So I got 3 star in I think 3 or 4 contests, but it took me around I would say 6 months to become 4 star at Code Chef.
Okay.
And I think a specialist at Code Forces that took a lot of time because some contests went really bad in the middle, and I was struggling a lot between I would say a rating of 1200, but then I studied some concepts, and then I got into that level of specialist.
Okay, so that's the difficult part. Student getting 3 star is easy, 4 star is also 6 month or 8 month job, but getting rank on Code Forces takes a lot of time. So if you are also struggling, don't worry. Every champ, every successful student also struggle like you. Okay. So my next question to you would be, what are the key resources or YouTube channels that you follow for your preparation?
Okay, so there were some YouTube channels, like one is of Take You Forward, like Raj Vikramaditya's channel, and it's really very good. Like I use that channel a lot. I think especially the graph series by him, and recently he's also uploaded the TP series. He's currently uploading it. So yeah, that helped me a lot. Also, DP by Aditya Verma. I think that's a really great resource. I studied DP from there only. So, and also like number theory by Code and Code, like Vakar Ahmed sir.
Okay.
That was also a very good resource, to if you want to study number theory. So yeah, I used basically these channels, for my preparation.
Okay, that's great. So students, you can go and check out them. So my next question is, do Amazon prefer any coding language, and which language do you prefer?
Amazon don't prefer any coding language. Like you can code in any language you want, like be it C++, be it Java, be it Python. I think the main thing is your logic. Language doesn't matter so much. It don't matter so much. Your main thing is your problem solving skills. Also, like if I talk about myself, I used to code in C++. My favorite language is C++.
Okay, that's great. So student, there is no concern of language. You can select whichever language, Python, Java, C++. Many students choose C++ because there is abundance of resources for it on internet. Second, there is a lot of convenience of coding DSA and CP in C++. That's why companies prefer no language. So for them, everybody is equal. Okay. Do you think development play any role in this, like role of internship, or just DSA, CP is enough?
Yeah, definitely. I think development plays a major role because, like, if you are a decent competitive coder, I think you should have, at least 2 to 3 projects in your resume, right? So development definitely plays a major role, especially if you're targeting, startups. There, you should be good at development. Also, like, suppose like if you are a very good competitive coder, like if you are grandmaster, if you are master, then I think if you are good at CP, then it's enough, right? Because then you can easily crack any big company like Google, right, Microsoft. But if you are like a decent competitive coder, let's say if you are 4 star, if you're a specialist at Code Forces, then I think you should have at least 2 to 3 projects in your resume, because that basically gives a balance, right? Because it showcases like you did both CP as well as DSA, and that makes you a good software engineer. Like these are good signs of a good software engineer.
Definitely, that's a very balanced answer that Pranat just gave. So my next question, according to you, how much problem solving skills is enough for Amazon, or how should we even quantify it?
Okay, I think like for Amazon, you should be a good problem solver, right? For that, I think you can use lead code, right? Because Amazon usually ask questions which are based on the lead code type questions, right? So yes, like you should be a good problem solver and use lead code for that. You can participate in contests, right? And you should have a good stronghold on data structures and algorithms. That's the main thing.
Okay, so is there any quantification कि यार इतनी होनी चाहिए, मतलब 4 स्टार 3 स्टार स्पेशलिस्ट मास्टर anything?
Okay. I think like if you are a 4-star at CodeChef, I think that's enough. Also, like if you are able to solve medium level problems on lead code, I think that's enough. Also, like for this for Amazon, you can use Striver's SD sheet. I think that's a great resource.
So I was going through your resume, Pranat. I saw your CGPA was very good. So I would like to ask, how did you manage your college study along with your CP, DSA, your internship, all your development work?
First of all, I don't think I really have a good CGPA.
He's
It's
being very
a decent
humble,
one.
but his CGPA is very good. I can say that.
Maybe. I think, to be honest, like I never paid attention to the lectures, given to me in the college. What I did was like I mainly skipped the classes, and even if I attend the classes, I sit at the back. I maybe sleep or maybe even solve some problems of DSA. I never paid attention to the classes. I even don't know before the paper. I didn't even know the syllabus of the paper exam. Yeah. So what I did was like the major time I focused on the DSA, and the coding stuff, and just maybe a day or 2 days before the exam, I just go through the main concepts, major topics of the subject, and I prepare those questions, and I just give the exam. So yeah, I think it's enough to maintain a decent CGPA.
That's great. I hope that will be very helpful to students. And would you like to give any advice to those students who are beginning their journey of coding and CP?
Yeah, sure. I think like if you're a beginner, start initially with HackerRank. Try to get around 5 to 6 stars on HackerRank, and then you can move to platforms like CodeForces and CodeChef, right? There are a lot of sheets. I think one is A2OJ ladder. You can try that. Also, like take part in a lot of contests on these sites, especially CodeForces, because the quality of questions are really very nice, and also they host only short contests, right? So you get better at solving a problem within a time limit, right? CodeChef you can try, but I don't prefer CodeChef for contests, especially the long challenge, because nowadays a lot of cheating has started to happen on these platforms on CodeChef. So yeah, you can skip those contests, the long challenges, but yeah, you should try to give almost all the contests of CodeForces, right? Also, you need to practice. You can practice from the problem set of CodeForces. You can sort the problems by the difficulty level and by the number of submissions. Also, like the one mistake which you should not do is like which I did was which was to solve a lot of easy problems, right? You should focus more on solving the good quality problems, right? You should always try to solve problems which are above your level, right? And in that way you would definitely get better in problem solving. Yeah, so I think that's all.
Great. So that's all we wanted to cover in our first part. Now we move on to our second part. In this part, we are going to cover the interview process of Amazon. So Pranat, please explain to us in brief all the rounds of Amazon, including the written round.
Okay, so as I told you before, like everyone was, who was having a percentage above 65%, they got the test link, right? So in the assessment link, there were 4 sections basically. The first one was the debugging section, which was having 7 questions, which were quite of easy level, I would say, in which I need to, there was a logical mistake, logical error, or maybe a syntactical error, and I need to debug those questions, right? Debug the snippet. In the second
Those
part,
questions
it was
were pseudocode or were they in specific language?
They were in languages like C++, Java. It was up to you, like in which language would you like to answer, right? Okay. Also, like the second part was the coding part. it was of around 70 minutes, and there were two questions of DSA, proper DSA. So as far as I remember, the first one was of a two-pointer problem, and the second one was of MST, in which I need to find the cost of MST. Right. So it was more of an implementation question, and if you know the Kruskal's algorithm, I think it would be a cakewalk. Right. This section was quite easy, I would say. And the third section was of behavioral around, right? So Amazon actually focuses a lot on the leadership principles, right? So there are 40 leadership principles of Amazon, and I would highly advise everyone, before attempting this assessment, make sure you go through the leadership principles of Amazon, and while answering those questions, keep those leadership principles in your mind, right? And in the last part, it was more of an aptitude part. So there were logical questions, right? And there were somewhat of comprehension type questions, which you need to solve in around, I think, 35 minutes. Yeah. So that was more of, the whole overview of the assessment. And if you clear this assessment, right? If you clear this assessment, then there are two technical interviews. The first one is of around, I think both were of 1 hour, and they were majorly focused on DSA. Like Amazon usually don't ask much about core subjects. Their main focus is just on DSA and the problem solving skills.
So those were followed by 2 rounds of interview and you were selected. Okay. So would you tell us in some idea of what kind of questions were asked? It's okay if you don't tell us exact question, just give us an idea of difficulty level.
Okay, so like in the technical round 1, I was asked a question on 2 pointers, right? So I was facing the question for the very first time. So I started with the brute force approach first, right? And then I moved to the optimal one gradually. And I was able to code that problem, a short amount of time. And I made the try run of the code, and the interviewer was satisfied with my approach. And in the second problem, it was, one on metrics, I think. So I was able to, solve that one too. And the interviewer was quite satisfied, So I was expecting, a call for round 2 also. And I think in just one day, I got the call for round 2, right? So in the round 2, I was asked a question on. I remember the question very clearly. It was there was a story behind the question first. So I need to break down the question, like what am I required to do, right? So the question boils down to I need to merge case sorted arrays, right? So this was the very first time I was solving this question. I've never solved this question before, so it was a new one for me. I started with the again with the brute force approach, right? And then I was kind of stuck, for around 2 minutes, right? Because I was not provided with any examples, also. So I was stuck for around 2 minutes. But then I gradually, went to the optimal approach, right? I saw, I first, but then I gradually went to the optimal approach, and the interviewer was very satisfied and I think because I had done CP before, right? So that played a major role. I don't think if I had not done CP before, if my problem solving skills were not up to that level, up to that mark, I would have never been able to solve that question. So I think like CP यहाँ पर काफी role play करती है, because like in interviews, like in coding contest, you are always you always see a new question, right? And then how you approach that question, right? Because how you think about that question, about the solution, that matters a lot, right? So in the interview also, when I encountered a new question, I started with a very basic approach, and then I just moved to the optimal one step by step. And the second question, it was based on, I think, binary tree. I don't remember the question exactly, but yeah, it was pretty standard one. So I was able to solve both the questions. So I was expecting, an offer, which I later received, I think, within a week.
So did you do any specific preparation for interviews of Amazon you would like to share with our audience?
Honestly, I didn't, had any specific preparation for Amazon. Like the whole preparation was generic. Like my major focus was just only on DSA, right? One mistake with what I did was like I ignored the core subjects initially, due to which I faced some rejections also, right? But like my major focus was on DSA. So I was well prepared with my DSA part.
Okay, that's great. So, tell me about the attitude of interviewers. What kind of vibe did you get from them?
Oh, the interviewers were really very friendly. I think they were the best interviewers which I have ever, given interview to. Because I remember, like in my first round of Amazon, due to some miscommunication, I got late for the interview and I was 15 minutes late. So I was like, "ये opportunity तो गई," right? Because I was 15 minutes late, and it's a really
That's a
large
very
amount
negative.
of time. Yeah. So, but still, I joined the meeting, and the interviewer made me so calm. He made me so relaxed, and he told me to take a sip of water and then start the interview. So yeah, the interviewers were really very friendly and they were really very supportive, I think, because as I told you, in my second round I was stuck for just 2 minutes, and so the interviewer helped me, right? He gave me again an example, like how to, like, he gave me a direction, right? So I think interviewers were really very friendly, I think, of Amazon. Also, like in some of the interviews, like the interviewers don't usually put the camera on. So I think that makes more of a one-way conversation, right? So I think that was a good thing of Amazon. Like the interviewers were all the time they were keeping the camera on and they were very interactive.
So this was the end of our second part. Now we move on to the third part. So this was the company, Pranat, you got selected. So were there any company which rejected you? I'm asking this question so that students get to know it's not always you can win every company, you get selected to every company. There can be some companies who reject you. So please like to share some companies who rejected you.
Yeah, sure. I think the first company, on which I got rejected from, it was Acolyte. It was my first interview, and the DSA part went really well. But I, did a lot of mistakes in the core part. Like I was not prepared with the core part, so I got rejected from Acolyte. Also, one major rejection which I faced was from Hashden. Again, I was able to answer the DSA questions, but still I was not yet prepared with the core subjects. So again, I faced a rejection. That's why I think these two are the major rejections which I faced. So just one advice which I would like to give is, don't neglect these core subjects. They are equally important as your DSA part, right? Interviewers, they focus, equally both on the DSA and the core subjects. So you need to prepare these subjects also.
So okay, Amazon may not focus on core subject, but other companies definitely focus on core subjects. Okay, so Pranat, how was your college life? So you would like to share some experience of your college life with us?
Okay, the college life was really very good, I think I must say. Like in my first year, I explored a lot of things, right? From non-technical to technical. I literally explored every field. Like I started doing photography, YouTube channels. I started 2 YouTube channels,
Okay.
right? Attended a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops, a lot of I took part in a lot of competitions. Yeah. And in my second year,
Technical
I got into
competitions? Technical competitions you
Oh,
participated?
not only just technical, it was non-technical too. Like
Okay.
I, participated in photography competition,
Okay.
In the singing competition. I just did almost everything in my first year.
Okay.
Yeah. And in my second year, I started, focusing more on, the coding part. So in my second year, I got into software incubator, and there I, did a lot of development. So I, made 2 to 3 projects, and in the third year, it just went, at home. The lockdown happened, and we were at home. So yeah, and then I just focused on DSA. So yeah, college life was all about this, and after this, Amazon happened and the selection happened. We just went to a trip. So yeah, it was more of a kind of good college life, I must say.
This software incubator seems really interesting. I've heard it from many students of your college. So please tell us something about it.
Yeah, sure. So software development center, software incubator is a software development center of my college. Here we take projects, for the college, like the official site of the college, the latency system, the library attendance system, and many projects, for the college. And also we take projects, outside of the college too, like for some startups and all. So basically, it is a, like you can say, it is a society, where students from second, third, and fourth year come together, like, and they develop some projects, right? And also, it is a great place to learn, I feel. Yeah, and the amount of guidance which you get from the seniors, that is very valuable, right? Uh, Also, the bonding which you share with the seniors and the juniors, that is very much incredible, I must say. Also, you get to learn a lot, right? You get to learn a lot from all of them, like from the seniors as well as from their batchmates, also from your juniors. I think that is very precious, I must say. Also, like, you get to learn how to work in a team. I think the team bonding is very much, I must say, it is very much required also when you go for a job, I think. So that's that is what SI provides to you.
Okay.
I think so. I still feel I'm very lucky because I got into it after getting into AKGEC. So yeah, it's a very good place to be.
That's a very good answer, Pranat. Okay, so next question is a very commonly asked. Like, student ask us, like, there are so many distractions, how they stay focused. So would you like to share some advices to them?
Okay. I think I personally feel like if your why is clear, like why of doing something is clear, I think you won't get distracted much. But still, it happens sometimes, like you get distracted often. So what I did was, like, I was having a very good company around me, company of friends around me, who were like-minded. We were sharing the same goal, to get into, let's say, a good company, to get to crack ICPC, right? So we were having the same goals. So what happens is, like, in case अगर आप distract हो रहे हो, right? So what happens is, आप उनको देखते हो कि यार ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं अभी, आप उनके टच में रहते हो पूरे टाइम, राइट? एंड आपको लगता है कि यार मैं अभी देखो टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, एंड दे आर डूइंग समथिंग रियली वेरी गुड, राइट? सो दैट हेल्प्स यू टू keep yourself in a track, on a track, right? So that helps so that helps a lot, I think. So getting a good company, getting a good bunch of friends, I think that is very necessary in order to avoid getting distracted.
Okay, that's wonderful. So do you have any final words to the students, to the juniors who are watching this video?
Okay. So this line was told to me by my senior, one of my seniors whom I respect a lot. He told me once in my second year, he told me, like, life में एक phase आता है जब आपको consistently, like 2 to 3 years आपको मेहनत करनी होती है, right? Like for example, like जो बच्चे अभी IITs and IITs या काफी अच्छे colleges में हैं, उन्होंने 11th, 12th या 13th में काफी मेहनत की होगी, इसी वजह से वो उस लेवल पे हैं. So if you want to reach a certain level, you need to put efforts consistently for around 2 to 3 years, to reach that level. अगर आप let's say कॉलेज में नहीं करोगे, तो फिर आपको जॉब सर्च करने के टाइम पे करना पड़ेगा. बट आपको एक लेवल पर पहुंचने के लिए आपको मेहनत करनी ही पड़ेगी, फॉर सम टाइम. ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब आप सिर्फ मेहनत ही करते रहोगे, आप कुछ और नहीं करोगे उस बीच में. आप डेफिनेटली काफी एंजॉय भी करोगे. यू विल हैव पार्टीज, यू विल हैव लॉट ऑफ फन, इन द मीन वाइल. बट आई थिंक your main focus should be मेहनत करना, to do hard work, to do smart work, like consistently.
So that's a very practical advice. If you want to achieve a certain level of success, like you define, like 10 lakh earning, 15 lakh earning, this is one parameter. So you have to put in some effort, like for 2 years, 3 years. तो चाहे आप स्कूल में कर लो, चाहे कॉलेज में कर लो, चाहे जॉब में कर लो, लेकिन कभी ना कभी करनी पड़ेगी. तो that's a very practical advice given by Pranat. So now we are going to do something fun, a quick rapid fire. ठीक है, तो कोई hamper नहीं होगा. So really sorry Pranat. Okay, so I will ask you 5 quick questions. So you will give any answer that comes to your mind. So are you ready?
Yeah.
So let's start. So what is your favorite web series?
Favorite web series? I haven't watched much web series, but I think Mirzapur, that's a really nice web series.
Okay, so your favorite DSA CP YouTuber?
Raj Vikramaditya, take you forward.
Okay, he's a very good guy. Okay, and what was the next question? It was settling in India or settling abroad?
Settling in India.
Okay, arranged marriage or love marriage? सोच लो आराम से.
जिस आपकी लाइफ चल रही है, आई थिंक अरेंज मैरिज ही करनी पड़ेगी.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, हो जाएगा, आपका भी विकास हो जाएगा. अभी 14 फरवरी आने वाली है. ठीक है. लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज गूगल और अमेजोन.
I think both are, a dream company of I think every engineering student.
Okay,
But
very
like
diplomatic,
for me,
very
from a very
diplomatic.
starting, like my dream company was, Amazon. Like I used to get, like I always, wanted to get into it, Amazon, right from I think the third year. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a very great answer for Pranat. That's all for this video. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you want to connect with Pranat, link to his LinkedIn account is there in the description. You can also check out his resume and learn from his life and what he did. And thanks again Pranat for taking out time for today.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. It was really an honor, to come to this channel. And I'm really very, I really liked, sharing my journey with you all.
Thank
So
you.
thank
We
you, sir.
also enjoyed the session talking to you. Thank you. Thank you everyone.